Hello dear friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Mukesh English. This is Mukesh Soni. Friends, in this video we are going to have a discussion of 4th semester BCA B.Sc Generic English model question paper under Bangalore City University BCU. So the duration for the examination 2 hours 30 minutes, maximum marks allotted 60 marks. The section A of the question paper consists 40 marks, which have novella has a weightage of 30 marks, poems and the TED Talks have the weightage of 10 marks. So to begin with, answer any two of the following questions in about a page. So out of the three questions, you need to select only two questions and each for 5 marks from the novella. To begin with, the first question, Hesse does not describe the setting in detail. Why not? So this question is from the novella Siddhartha. Siddhartha, a novella by Hermann Hesse, is based on the early life of Buddha. Published in German in 1922, it was inspired by the author's visit to India before World War I. The novel is set the novel is set 6 centuries before the birth of Christ in ancient India at the time of Gautama the Buddha. Hesse did not describe the setting in detail because he wants to focus on the situations at hand and Siddhartha's thoughts and inner self. As Hermann Hesse's novel unfolds, we follow Siddhartha in search for meaning and truth in a world of sorrow and suffering. Drawing on both Hindu and Buddhist teachings, Siddhartha expertly explores the tension between the doctrinal dictates of organized religion and the inner promptings of the soul. As Siddhartha grows older, a fundamental truth gradually becomes apparent both to them and to us. There is no single path to self growth and no one formula for how to live life. Hesse challenges our ideas of what it means to lead a spiritual life, to strive after, and to achieve meaningful self growth through blind adherence to a religion, philosophy, or indeed any system of belief. Question number two. How is an average Brahmin described in the novella Siddhartha? Siddhartha is envied in the Brahmin community. Everyone wants to be with him, to be him. The Brahmin practices like holy sacrifices, meditation, and deep reflection and discussion, and have not pleased Siddhartha in his journey. This displays Siddhartha's first stage in his development. His life as a Brahmin brings him much discontent, which prompts him to follow a path toward enlightenment. Since his childhood, the Brahmins deposited the absolute knowledge into his waiting vessel, also referred to as spiritual mind. Yet, he was still not at peace. The Brahmins teach Siddhartha the virtue of patience, the art of prayer, as well as make him well versed in the different rituals. Hesi tells us, love stood in the heart of the young Brahmin's daughters when Siddhartha walked through the streets of the town with his lofty brow, his king like eyes, and his slim figure. Question number three for 5 marks. Why is Siddhartha dissatisfied? So we have multiple answers for this question. So I have tried to bring all the possible answers. The novel begins with the description of all Siddhartha's good fortune, but despite all that sets him apart, he is dissatisfied, believing that he has learned all that his elders have within them to teach him. Siddhartha was unhappy because he had begun to feel that the love of his father, mother, and friend were not enough. His father and teachers had already taught him the most of what they knew, but he still wanted to learn a lot more. He had begun to doubt the usefulness of the sacrifices offered to the different gods, and he was unsure how these prayers and rituals related to the self, the Atma. He wanted to attain the Atma in consciousness in life and in very action. He wanted to radiate peace and life in bliss, which he was still not able to do. Moreover, he could not understand why a blameless person like his father had to wash away sins. He felt there was something missing from all that he had been taught thus far. He was dissatisfied by the teachings of Samanas because though he learned a great deal in a short time span, he was still no closer to the secret. Though he practiced many austerities and meditation, he was no better than the ordinary people who took to alcohol as a form of escapism. Like them, he too always returned to the same self and to the same life. Neither he nor even the oldest Samana had been able to attain enlightenment. In this, it is this hunger to use his potential completely and know absolute truth that drives each stage of his pilgrimage, and the dissatisfaction he finds at every turn that encourages him to move on. The book Siddhartha seems to be saying that dissatisfaction can be a good thing and a guiding light towards the next step in our journey. So these were the three questions for 5 marks. That means to say the total 10 marks. Now we are going to have a discussion of 20 marks questions, 10 marks each. Out of three questions, you are supposed to attempt only the two questions for 20 marks, each for 10 marks. What I have learned so far from the Samanas, I could have learned more quickly. I could have learned more quickly and easily at every inn in a prostitute's quarter amongst the carriers and the dice players discuss. These words from Siddhartha sound as if he was not happy with what he had and that he wanted to gain wisdom. His first knowledge will not be fulfilled unless Siddhartha learns from himself and his experiences and not teachings from others. Although he has been learning many things from the Samanas, he does not realize it and think this can be learnt anywhere else. This also makes the readers guess whether he might last long with the Samanas or not. Siddhartha practices self denial and meditation according to the Samanas rules. In other words, he suffers many pains as standing in the hot sun and cool rain and sitting on the thorns. Likewise, he learns to manage his breath, turns into dust, experiences the troubled course of the life cycle. Siddhartha frustrates to slip out of his self in 1,000 forms and kills his senses and memory. In addition, he destroys the self on him and returns to himself in circles. The quote, I could have learned more quickly and easily in every inn in a prostitute's quarter amongst the carriers and the dice players. That means Siddhartha learnt everything from the Samanas for a long suffering of pains which he may learn in the inner life more easier. What Siddhartha learned from Samanas was running away from the self for a short while, forgetting body, pain, and feelings, which even drunkards, gamblers, and womanizers could also do. He meant we have learned to escape from existence temporarily, but after a while we are again back to same state. Siddhartha thinks what we learn from the world around us, others, is not the real knowledge. The real knowledge is Atma, which is in every living being. According to Siddhartha, one can learn nothing because he realizes the knowledge has been everywhere. Therefore, Siddhartha believes that this knowledge has no worse enemy than the man of knowledge, than learning. Question number 2 for 10 marks. Describe the life of Siddhartha and his family as depicted at the outset of the novel. So, this is a quite, in the very beginning, we come to know this information. The novel Siddhartha is set centuries before the birth of Christ in ancient India at the time of Gautama the Buddha, whose eightfold path guides a faithful toward nirvana. Siddhartha is young Brahmin, handsome and learned, with the potential to be a prince among his caste members. Everyone knows he is destined for greatness because he has mastered all the rituals and wisdom of his religion at an early age. His village is idyllic, and Siddhartha seems to live an enviable life. His father is a Brahmin, a religious leader, an esteemed member of the community. Siddhartha seems well on his way to following his father's footsteps. Though Siddhartha spends this time studying in the Hindu wisdom of his elders along with his best friend Govinda, he is dissatisfied. He suspects that his father and the other learned Brahmins, have learned perfectly everything from the holy books, but he does not believe they have achieved enlightenment. The rituals and the mantras they have taught him seem more a matter of custom than a real path that could lead to true enlightenment. To become religious men by the standards of their own community, Siddhartha feels he and Govinda would have to become like sheep in a large herd, following predetermined rituals and patterns without ever questioning those methods or exploring methods beyond the ones they know. Siddhartha is deeply unhappy at this prospect. Though he loves his father and respects the people of his village, he cannot imagine himself existing in this way. Siddhartha has followed his father's example with conviction. He has followed his father's example with conviction, but still he longs for something more. One evening, after meditating, Siddhartha announces to Govinda that he will join a group of Samanas, wandering mendicant priests who have just passed through their city. When Siddhartha informs Govinda that he will join the Samanas, Govinda is frightened. He knows Siddhartha is taking his first step into the world and that Govinda himself must follow. Siddhartha, dutiful son, asks his father for permission before leaving with the Samanas. His father is disappointed and says he does not want to hear the question a second time, but Siddhartha does not move. His father, the father cannot sleep and gets up every hour to find Siddhartha standing with crossed arms in the darkness. In the morning, his father reluctantly gives permission. He knows Siddhartha will not change his mind. He asks Siddhartha to return home to teach his father the art of bliss if he finds it elsewhere. As he leaves to join the wandering Samnas, Siddhartha is pleased and surprised to learn that Govinda has decided to join him in this new life outside the village. Question number 3 for 10 marks. According to the text, what were the religious practices at that time? Hermann Hesse referred to his novels as biographies of the soul. In Siddhartha, published in 1922, the title character is an exceptionally intelligent Brahmin, a member of the highest caste in the Hindu religion, who seemingly has a well ordered existence yet feels spiritually hollow. The first section of the novel describes Siddhartha's to follow attempts to follow the various religions. At first, he follows his father's example by performing the daily rituals of the Hindu religion. Everyone loves the handsome, happy young Siddhartha, and they are convinced that he will soon become a successful Brahmin like his father. Beneath Siddhartha's external devotion and contentment, however, he harbors an insatiable longing to explore the deeper meaning of life, which cannot be learned through codified religious rituals. When a group of wandering ascetics called Samanas pass through his village, he decides to leave his father's home and Brahman religion to follow after the Samanas' ascetic way of life. In addition, he pursues his closest friend Govinda to come with him and embrace this new path to knowledge. At first, Siddhartha's father is extremely angry and forbids Siddhartha to join the Samanas, but Siddhartha eventually wins his father's reluctant approval by demonstrating his firm determination to follow the Samanas' ascetic way of life. Having already learned discipline and determination as a Brahmin, Siddhartha immediately adapts to the Samanas' way of life. He quickly masters the ascetic arts of fasting, suffering, meditation, and self denial. He renounces all worldly pleasures and conquers the self's desires. Ultimately, however, he questions the Samna's ascetic philosophies when he realizes that the path of self-denial can only bring temporary relief from suffering. When Siddhartha hears about another holy man, Gautama, the illustrious Buddha, he convinces Govinda to go with him to learn his new religious philosophy. Together, Siddhartha and Govinda learn about the fourfold way, the eightfold path, and the other Buddhist beliefs. Govinda is convinced by Gautama's teachings and decides to convert to the Buddhist religion, but Siddhartha remains unconvinced. In particular, he is troubled by a fundamental contradiction in the Buddha's philosophy. On one hand, the Buddha embraces the unity of all things, but on the other hand, he denies this unity by seeking to overcome the physical world. Disillusioned with religions, Siddhartha forsakes all religious paths to knowledge. He sadly departs from Govinda and sets out on his own to find the meaning of life. So these were the three questions we have discussed here, 10 marks. So totally we have discussed 30 marks questions from novella. Now the another 10 marks questions from poems and TED Talks. And out of this, you need to opt any two. Contrast the effects used by the poet in the poem The Caged Bird. The poet contrasts the free bird and the caged bird by using a number of images. The free bird joyfully leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends. He soars to claim the sky, while the caged bird stalks down his narrow cage. His wings are clipped and his nails are tied. He is frustrated and angry at his plight. He opens his throat to sing with a fearful trill of things unknown yet longed for still. He sings of freedom which he does not have, and his tune is heard on a distant hill. The free bird sings of another breeze. The trade winds that move softly through the sighing trees and the fat worms in the bright lawn. The caged bird, on the other hand, stands in the grave of dreams. He has nothing to look forward to, and he only opens his throat to sing of things that he longs for and cannot get. There is no definite rhyming scheme in this poem. In the first stanza, there is no set rhyming scheme. This enables the reader to feel the freedom of the free bird as it soars on the back of the wind. The reader's attention is drawn to the main focus of the poem, the contrast between the free bird and the caged bird. There are the words which rhyme in the stanzas like leaps, ends, raise, cage, rage, trill, still, hill. The last stanza is a repetition of the third stanza, and this repetition serves to draw the reader's attention to the plight of the caged bird which stands oppressed and suffers under the shackles imposed on it. Second question, 4 5 mark. What is the force that contradicted with nature and eternity in the poem by Dylan Thomas? The force that threw the green fuse is a highly metaphorical and deeply addressing poem by Dylan Thomas. It is through time that flowers grow and age and water are driven, but in the end, it destroys each living thing, or rather, each living thing is destroyed within it and through it. The entire passionate and the positive connotation in this poem is calmly countered with a single ending that is called death. Even the act of creating new life is another gesture towards a certain doom, because all the while the force that propels all of this grandness is a destroyer rather than a creator. In this ambivalence, we become aware of the contradictions and thus realize what the poem is trying to convey. By depicting the power or effect of time on human existence and nature, the poem exhibits the theme of death, time, and the tragically fragile and transitory nature of human life and the nature. Now, the third question you have here, prepare a TEDx talk on the given topic, ADHD and other related, specially abled issues, or schizophrenia. I have not given any answer to this question because, again, I would say that TED Talks, it depends on the person. How do you gather the information and how do you organize it? So, when you're delivering the TED Talk, you need to have the sound information about the topic. You greet the audience, talk about yourself, and organize your thoughts, your ideas. So, topic, sentence, content, and the concluding remark. And I would like to suggest you to watch more TED Talks so that you get more ideas to write a script on the TED Talk. So you have a lot of choices here. You have three questions. You need to opt only two questions. So you can also prepare better for the poetry. Next, so far we have discussed here 40 marks questions. So dear friends, let me tell you that in the description box, I have already mentioned all the links of the poems and the TED Talks and the Dvipa summary. So if you want to go through in detail, you can just click on the links and you can watch my videos on all the topics of fourth semester BCA, B.Sc Generic English. Now let's have a discussion for the 20 marks questions. Now, fourth, part four, write any one of the following. So here you have the options. First question, 5 marks. Write a business letter to the customer service manager, Mahesh Electronics Private Limited, complaining about a defect found in the music system purchased from the store. Sign yourself as a Sora or Samruddhi. So it's a complaint letter. So obviously, sender's address, Sora, receiver's address. In between, we have date, then salutation, dear sir, subject, complaint about the music system, body of the letter. I would like to bring to your kind notice that the music system invoice number so and so is not working properly. It has got some technical issue in the middle of the song. As it's the summer season and children at home do the dance practice, it has affected their dance practice. I kindly request you to look into this matter and replace it with a new system, new music system. Thanks, regards, or yours sincerely. So this is about the business letter or the complaint letter. Imagine that you are the copywriter in a company. The company has decided to promote a new brand. So you are asked to prepare a flyer. So it's a so you have two options. One is letter writing and one is the copywriting content. So letter writing is not a new for you. You already learned in the third semester, I remember. So what is new here? The copywriting, how to write a copywriting content. So here you need to promote a new brand. So I thought, let's think about the most important and the very fabulous phone, Nothing Phone 2. So you can promote the brand in this manner. This question, copywriting content question, similar to like a brochure. Here you need to give some specifications and more creativity you have to show. You can look at the picture here. You can look at the features, specifications. So this is how you can create the copywriting content for any of the product or any of the brand. So try to make it more picturesque in the examination. Draw it, color it, make it more elegant, so that if you don't like the letter writing one, you can opt this copywriting content. Next question, again you have choice here. You have emails in syllabus. You have 10 marks questions for the email. 10 marks questions out of 4 or the 3 emails. You need to opt 2 emails. First one, write an acknowledgement email to an employee for having done the work successfully. So to email address, subject, dear Manish, we are glad to analyze that your project has brought laureates to the company. The company has got a great benefit by your planning. We acknowledge your work and efforts. We expect the same in future. Regards, manager. So follow the format, write to the point, precisely, concisely. Don't elaborate too much. It's an email, it's not a letter. Next, write an email to appreciate your colleague. So similarly, dear team members, we are proud for receiving the Best Startup of the Year award. We appreciate you for the amazing work you did on this first startup of the company. Your professionalism reflects in the countless hours you have put into this, made it successful one. Self motivation, dedication, and diligence are the hallmarks of a team, and we got the fruits. Thank you once again. Regards, Manager Goldfish Incorporation. So, this is an appreciation mail. Third mail, write an email to congratulation email to your colleague on the eve of promotion. So, to email address, subject, then dear Saurabh, congratulations on doing such an excellent job and getting promotion as a software developer. I'm sure this role would change your organization's work environment and approach towards software and programs. I could not have imagined it any other way, considering the hard work you put into this project for a year now. From the approval to design and implementation, you have been patient through it all. It has paid off despite the challenges. I'm proud of your achievement. I wish you splendid success in all your future endeavors. Best regards. So this is how you have here three emails. Out of three emails, you need to select two emails. Remember, it's very scoring one and very expensive question as well. 10 marks questions from the email writing. So don't forget, I have also done the videos on email writing also. You can see the email writing videos link in my description box. Next, the last section is here, the blog writing. Last section, answer any one of the following. You need to select one question. So write a blog post on a historical place recently visited. So it's very simple, no need to get worried, sir, what to write in the blog. Whatever comes in your mind, just write down, because blog means to say for everybody, for all kinds of readers, not any specific readers. So I have mentioned here one small description about a place in Sri Lanka. Gali is a jewel crowned to the timeless beauty of Sri Lanka. This historic city is situated at the banks of the southern coast of Sri Lanka. Built in 1588 by the Portuguese, this ancient place is declared as a World Heritage Site by the UNESCO. In the mid 60s, this place was fortified by the Dutch, and even after 400 years from then, the place holds the remains of the Dutch architecture and culture. This beautifully walled city boasts the quirky cafes, symmetrical streets adorned with houses showcasing Dutch architecture, and fancy, impeccable restaurants and hotels, which boost the beauty of the city. Being the cultural capital of southern coast of this paradise island makes a great place to explore the Dutch culture, fancy boutiques, enchanting views across the beach. This guide will give you an insight of all the things which this place is equipped with for a dreamy vacation amidst the bordered city in Sri Lanka. Best time to visit, Feb to April. So like this, you can describe the place which you have visited, why have you visited, what's the historical significance, how you visited, which are the places you must visit, how is the experience, how do you promote it. That's what you need to mention in your blog. Next question you have here, explain the do's and don'ts of social media writing. So this is another theoretical question. If you don't like the blog writing, you can attempt this question. So do's, we know, control your social media, control your privacy settings. Don'ts means don't post insensitive contents. Do's, disconnect from negativity. Don'ts, body shaming, racial such abuse should not be there. Take care when posting a picture. Don't humiliate or shame others. Connect with people whom you feel safe. Don't share any embarrassing memes. Parents can regularly check the children's activity. Here, comment with the cyber predators, online bullying, etc. So, this is how I would say here, the last section of this unit, where you need to opt one question out of the blog writing or the subjective question, theoretical question about social media writing. So, dear friends, this is how I have tried to answer these questions. Again, just have a look at the brief structure of your question paper. Unit 1, which consists novella for 30 marks, 5 marks, 2 questions, 10 marks, 2 questions, then 5 marks, 2 questions from the poems and from the TED Talks. Unit 2, technical writing, 5 marks, 1 question out of 2. Email, 10 marks email. I'm keep on telling 10 marks email. Out of 3 emails, you need to opt 2. Then social media writing, blog writing, or any theoretical question, 1 question for social media writing. So friends, this is how I have tried to solve this question paper, 4th semester BCA B.Sc Generic English under BCU, Bangalore City University. If you like this video, click on the like button, write in the comment box, subscribe the channel if you're not yet subscribed, and also go through the description box where you find all the lessons, videos, email writing, Dvipa, and TED Talks and the poems. All the videos are done. So wish you good luck for the examination.